A single sentence broke my reality, plunging me into doubt and despair over everything I believed. A solitary sentence lingers, thick with the weight of hidden truths. Power beckons, but consequences linger, waiting in the shadows. In the dim light of the office, a storm was brewing, and fate was about to strike. As I organized my desk, the day's burden pressing down, a deep voice shattered the stillness from behind, sending a shiver racing through me. "Celeste, I need you, just for a moment." My heart pounded as I whirled around. Nathaniel Sterling loomed before me, the formidable CEO, my boss for a decade. An unspoken tension crackled in the air, thick and suffocating. At 58, he loomed large, a titan born from relentless ambition, his presence gripping the room like a king surveying a kingdom on the brink of chaos. Tonight's conversation would unravel everything I held dear. "You've worked hard," Maxwell said, his gaze piercing through me. "Your potential looms large, a shadow waiting to be unleashed. The moment has arrived. Will you grasp the opportunity you've yearned for?" My heart pounded, each beat reverberating through the stillness. Years of waiting, a heavy silence filled with dread. "Why now? Will you embrace the storm ahead?" He pressed on, his voice unwavering, but a tempest raged within. A private meeting, an offer beyond expectations. The weight of monumental decisions hangs in the air. What if everything falls apart? I nodded, my heart pounding, fear tightening its hold on me. Why me? What makes me the one? The weight of the question hangs heavy in the air, a silent scream echoing in the shadows. Maxwell's smile masked a storm of hidden truths. "I believe you are destined for this moment." His offer lingered, thick with hidden intentions. A shadow lurked behind the vague words, its whispers carrying secrets that hung heavy in the air. A choice lay before me, each path tangled in uncertainty. This was my final chance to escape. Lucas's heart pounded as darkness enveloped him, the air heavy with unvoiced dread. The hospital bills loomed over me, a heavy shadow, threatening to crush my spirit. I was exhausted, exhaustion weighed on me, every step a battle against fatigue. "What do you think?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper, laden with unvoiced burdens. I gasped. I must reveal the truth. Maxwell's smile stretched, but a shadow danced just beneath the surface. Silence draped itself like a shroud, thick and suffocating. Silence enveloped the room, thick with secrets waiting to be revealed. But then, everything changed. But was I truly prepared to confront the price? "The choice is yours, Celeste, but time is running out," Maxwell whispered, his voice barely breaking the silence, the wine quivering in his glass. "It's just a suggestion, yet its gravity suffocates the atmosphere. Seize this moment. It may slip away forever, never to return." I stood, my mind a tempest of turmoil. The words lingered, thick with a truth that trembled just beneath the surface. I have to refuse at this moment. Hold on tight to my convictions. I hesitated, my heart racing. "I'll think about it," I finally said, the weight of my words hanging in the air. Maxwell nodded, his gaze cutting through the darkness, reaching into the depths of my soul. I hold my breath, waiting for your reply. I stepped out of the office, gripping 100 with trembling hands. A haunting thought clung on, relentless. The suggestion reverberated in my thoughts, a chilling tune I couldn't shake off. I raced down the hallway, a shiver coursing through me as I felt an unyielding stare bore into my back. I shook my head, fighting against the suffocating whispers of doubt that clawed at my mind. With each step through the door, my heart thundered in my chest. Lucas stood there, enveloped in shadows. He had vanished, a mere echo of the passionate soul I once adored. Since the accident, he had transformed, distant, introspective, a shadow of his former self, trapped in a whirlwind of thought. "You're late. Where were you?" Once more, his voice sliced through the stillness, icy and empty of emotion. A brief smile concealed the chaos raging inside. It bears down, relentless and suffocating. Lucas nodded, eyes locked on the window, as silence consumed the air, leaving no room for more questions. My gaze fixed on him, a heartbeat pulsing in the stillness as I sought the fragile thread that connected us. But it vanished, swallowed by the darkness of forgotten moments. I stepped into the bedroom, closed the door with a soft click, and fell onto the bed, breathless. Maxwell's need for my loyalty was palpable, a tension thick enough to slice through, as if a storm loomed just beyond the horizon. But how could this happen? What secrets lurk in the shadows? Am I descending into uncertainty? Or is this a trial of my very essence? The ceiling loomed above, a blank canvas for my racing thoughts, each possibility more haunting than the last. The answer hovered, tantalizingly close, a chilling murmur in the darkness. Yet doubt clawed at my insides, murmuring that this was not the truth I yearned to uncover. A weight settled on my chest, pressing with unseen force as I blinked into the darkness. Maxwell's offer lingered in my mind like a shadow, refusing to fade away. Darkness hung heavy in the air. It was shrouded in confusion. Yet beneath his words, a flicker of longing ignited, something far deeper than loyalty itself. I murmured softly, free from the chains of this decision. But was that really the truth? What if I refuse? Will it all slip away? Everything I fought for? Can I handle the weight of this decision? But if I agreed, what price would I pay? I jolted upright, my eyes fixed on Lucas. He lay there, enveloped in darkness, his face calm, yet the shadows whispered of the burdens time had carved into his skin. His warmth lingers like a ghost, a haunting reminder of stability now lost, leaving only shadows in the dark. Since the accident, a gaping void has torn us apart. He pulled away, and I began to accept the heavy silence that engulfed my once lively home. The next day, I entered the office, shrouded in darkness, before the first light dared to emerge. Time vanished, leaving only the weight of anticipation as I prepared to confront Maxwell again. An uneasy feeling settled over me, sending shivers through my spine as I stepped into the hallway. Did I sense their gaze, weighty with unvoiced secrets? Was it real, or just a haunting illusion of my thoughts? My heart pounded as I clicked open my inbox. An email from Maxwell hung in the air, heavy with unspoken words. I'll be waiting for you at the office, 7 o'clock. Don't be late. We have to talk. Now, time is running out. I gasped. A part of me ached to flee. A deeper voice stirred within, urging me to heed his words, to feel the gravity of his intentions before I dared to choose my fate. As I stepped out of the conference room, I crashed into Sophia, my steadfast companion in the looming darkness. Her gaze cut through the air, heavy with a haunting intensity. "Celeste, are you okay?" she insisted, her voice trembling with urgency. A shadow swept across my face. "Without a doubt. What drives you to seek the truth?" Sophia's gaze darted, filled with a frantic intensity as she pulled me in, her voice trembling on the edge of silence. A shadow looms, a chill in the air. Something is not right. My boss's gaze fixates on you, a piercing intensity that sends chills racing through me. Am I merely dreaming, or is there a deeper truth lurking in the shadows? My heart pounded in my chest. "What are you trying to tell me?" Her breath hitched, a silent gasp echoing in the stillness. "It's just, he hardly ever cares about anyone. Is there really nothing lurking beneath the surface?" I masked my fear with a smile, my heart pounding wildly within me. An unsettling silence stretched between us, thoughts lingering unspoken. He's on a relentless quest for new opportunities. Sophia held her breath, doubt clawing at her insides, but she stayed silent, the tension thick in the air. Relief surged through me, a brief flicker amidst the chaos. If Sophia is aware, I must proceed with caution. The clock struck 7 p.m., its chime echoing like a warning in the stillness. I stood before Maxwell's office door, my heart pounding, each thud amplifying the suffocating silence around me. At this moment, I teeter on the edge, the weight of the choice suffocating me. Every step forward feels like a battle, yet the shadows of my past grip me tightly, refusing to let go. But I hesitated. I had to reveal. The truth. I knocked, my heart pounding, and crossed the threshold. Maxwell sat in the chair, his eyes piercing through the silence as I approached his desk, the air thick with tension. "I'm glad you came," he whispered, his voice steady, but the air crackled with unspoken fears. I sat down, my face a mask of calm, but inside, my heart thundered wildly. "I must uncover the truth behind your proposal." At this very moment, Maxwell's smile vanished, his hands shaking violently as they gripped each other tightly. "What do you truly desire from me?" His gaze pierced through me, thick with unvoiced emotions, until the silence shattered at last. "A presence is all I desire, a heartbeat lurking in the shadows beside me, a soul to trust, unwavering in the shadows. You are the one. It's your fate. An opportunity awaits, but only if you dare to take it." A shiver coursed through me. What is my fate? It doesn't require that. Absolutely not. Maxwell tilted his head, his eyes burning with a fierce intensity. "No way. The battle has been long, but your victory is near. I will see to it that justice is served." He paused, the air heavy with tension, before forging ahead. "But the world isn't merely about effort, Celeste. In an instant, one daring decision can alter the course of fate." I gasped. "What happens if I say no?" Maxwell's shoulders slumped, darkness enveloping his expression. "Disappointment would pierce the soul, but I am powerless to force your hand. But all I can share is, this opportunity slips away, a mere breath in the shadows." The silence wrapped around us, thick and oppressive. His intentions loomed over me, piercing and undeniable. A shadow lingered, its presence heavy with unspoken meaning. A chilling whisper hangs in the air. To refuse might be the end, a final slam of the door on all that could have been. I stepped out of the office, my mind spinning with uncertainty. A tide of frustration crashed over me. Why does it always end like this? Am I destined to endure this agony? I poured my soul into my work, only to unearth the chilling truth behind my hard-earned promotion. But a thought haunted me. What if this was my last opportunity? Could I truly release it? As I crossed the threshold, Lucas loomed in the shadows, his silence thick with unvoiced secrets. His eyes bore into mine, a heavy silence hanging between us, before he leaned closer and whispered, "You seem nervous. Is something wrong?" I smiled, yet a chilling tremor coursed through me. Stillness hangs heavy in the air, a chasm of silence, a void that resonates. What secrets lurk in the shadows? The air crackles, anticipation hanging like a fragile thread. A day that dragged on, shrouded in shadows and haunted by whispers of lost possibilities. He nodded, a silent agreement suspended in the air, thick with unvoiced tension. But the doubt remained, haunting his gaze. The truth loomed, suffocating, yet my lips remained sealed. Words vanished into the abyss of silence. "Not now. Please, not now. Not now, please. It may never arrive." I sat on the bed, ensnared in a chilling silence, with every choice cloaked in darkness. One path promised safety, but the price was steep. Ethics teeter on the brink. Once steadfast beliefs now quiver, engulfed in uncertainty. The other path calls, cloaked in darkness, murmuring hidden truths of what awaits. A choice looms, thick with tension and the burden of hidden dread. Will it bring redemption or ruin? The heart pounds, ensnared by the weight of uncertainty, as shadows draw near. This was it, the moment that could change everything forever. But then, shadows crept in. I never thought this moment would arrive. I clenched my eyes shut, gasped, the air caught in a moment of dread. Is Maxwell's offer an offer wrapped in layers of uncertainty? I awoke, thoughts pressing down, shadows from the night before clinging to me. Haunting echoes of my conversation with Maxwell spiraled through my thoughts, relentless and unsettling. Haunted by an unyielding pursuit, darkness closes in. The night stretched endlessly, a haunting agony that robbed me of rest. The burden of choice pressed down. A haunting fork in the road loomed before me. A decision that could change everything I hold dear. My eyes were fixed on Lucas, heart racing. He lay there, unaware, his breath a soft murmur in the shadows. I wondered, if Lucas stood where I am, what choice would he make? The moment pressed down, thick with tension, as a choice loomed, dark and foreboding. Would he risk it all for a glimmer of hope for our future? Would he stand firm in his convictions, or would he crumble under the weight of temptation? Will you confront the looming shadows of the unknown? Little did I know. Yet, in the shadows of my mind, the truth clawed at me. I was trapped, with no way out. The certainty I once had shattered into fragments, replaced by a whirlwind of questions. That morning, as I stepped into work, a tempest raged inside me. There was no turning back. Time slipped away, each tick echoing like a heartbeat in the silence. I had to leave everything behind. The time has come, torn asunder by choices I dreaded to face. As I entered my office, a shiver ran down my spine. A new email from Maxwell loomed in my inbox. A solitary line, burdened with a silence that screams. Tonight, the world shifts on its axis. 7. The number hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. What does it mean? Time is running out. The number lingers, thick with unvoiced dread. What does it signify? A ticking clock? A vow hanging in the air, heavy with uncertainty. Anticipation hangs heavy in the air, each heartbeat echoing like a countdown to the unknown. A realm where shadows cling, secrets murmur, and the air is heavy with unspoken dread. Silence clung to the atmosphere, thick with unspoken fears and lingering doubts. All secrets laid bare. Yet, beneath the surface, I sensed his hidden longing. Time crawled, thick with an unsettling tension. My mind was a tempest, chaos raging. Nothing could anchor my thoughts. Questions screamed through the silence of my thoughts. Is this the right choice, or am I doomed? Is this a moment of hope or a trap waiting to ensnare? Sophia. The name hung in the air, heavy with unspoken truths and lingering shadows. A heartbeat echoed, each second stretching into eternity, as the weight of the moment pressed down, suffocating yet electric. What lay beneath the surface? The answer danced just out of reach, tantalizing and terrifying all at once. The name hangs in the air, thick with secrets yet to be revealed. A chilling sensation gripped my core. Something was dreadfully amiss. Celeste, are you okay? A fleeting smile danced on my lips, a whisper of hope in the shadows. Drained to the core, the world bears down, a crushing force, relentless and stifling. Is there no escape? Her gaze cut deep, probing for hidden truths, while the silence loomed, thick with unasked questions that hung like a storm between us. 7 pierced the stillness, a haunting whisper in the dark. Heart pounding, I stood before Maxwell's office door, breath hitching as my fist collided with the wood. Enter if you dare. His voice echoed, thick with authority. I stepped in, the door slamming shut, its finality reverberating through the heavy silence. Maxwell stood by the window, hands clenched in his pockets, eyes fixed on the city below, a tempest raging inside him. He paused, the tension thick and suffocating. The silence loomed, thick and oppressive. Finally, his voice shattered the stillness. You've chosen your path. I nodded, my voice unwavering. Yet within me, chaos raged. I must find out. What destiny lies in wait if I dare to speak that word? Absolutely. A solitary sound, laden with fate. Maxwell whirled, his intense stare slicing through the tension, scrutinizing my every move. It whispers of dreams realized, but at what cost? A sudden ascent to dominance. Teetering on the brink, a desperate search for solace unfolds. And above all, I am here with you. My throat tightened. His voice cut through the air, steady yet haunting, as if he were casually discussing the weather while the weight of fate loomed ominously around them. Yet, for me, it was anything but ordinary. My breath caught in my throat. Am I truly ready to face this? Maxwell crept closer, his voice barely a breath, thick with unease. Celeste, your mind cuts through the darkness like a knife. I won't push you into the darkness you fear. This is your time to shine. Will you accept it? A new journey beckons. In that brief moment, shadows consumed me. A new journey beckons. A shadowy allure beckoned. Its call haunting and undeniable. But what lies beyond the veil? The part of me I once trusted now screamed in desperation, begging me to flee. In that instant, my fate was sealed. I heard the whispers in the dark. My eyes snapped open, meeting Maxwell's intense stare. Your offer is everything I have left. I can't endure this any longer. Trapped, I can't trade my soul for a moment's glory. The air crackled, heavy with unspoken dread. Maxwell's gaze cut through the air, a burning intensity that quickened my pulse and left me breathless. Suddenly, a fragile smile pierced the heavy silence. I see now I underestimated your power. A chilling doubt seized my thoughts, a dark figure waiting in the shadows. But now I had lost all sense of concern. The choice loomed, heavy and suffocating, as if a tempest was gathering just out of sight. I stood, heart racing. Thank you, Maxwell. I never thought it would come to this. For every last thing. What if? The words linger, thick with weight, a chilling finality. He nodded, the weight of unspoken promises thickening the silence. Farewell, Celeste. The shadows linger. You will need it, more than you know. Remember, second chances come but once in a lifetime. Stepping out of the office, a wave of relief crashed over me. The air thick with unspoken tension. The certainty I once held has vanished, swallowed by a storm of questions. Shadows creep in the corners of my mind, whispering doubts that refuse to fade. I had said no. The weight of those two words hung in the air, thick with tension. What would happen next? My heart raced, the silence deafening. The air crackled with the heavy burden of those two words. What comes next? The air thickens with uncertainty. My heart raced, the silence suffocating. I struggled to maintain my calm. I stepped through the door, the clock ticking menacingly in the shadows. Lucas stood frozen, his eyes dark with dread, as the silence loomed, thick and suffocating. Are you truly all right? He insisted, his voice a low growl, the air thick with tension. I nodded, the gravity of the moment enveloping me like a storm. I'm fine, or at least that's the lie I cling to. Today dragged on, each second a suffocating eternity, burdened by the silence of what remained unsaid. Lucas's eyes held a weight of secrets, a deep, weary sigh escaping his lips, echoing the tension in the air. Your path remains shrouded in shadows, but I believe your choice was deliberate. I paused, heart racing. What are you trying to tell me? His smile flickered like a dying ember, concealing dark mysteries within. Celeste, our past is a haunting echo. Just a whisper of your hidden struggles lingers in the air. Every detail holds a weight too heavy to bear. Reveal to me the challenge that awaits. But deep within, I feel you could never turn against your true self. It ignites a burning pride within me, a knot twisted in my throat. It struck me like a bolt from the blue. It had to be Lucas, the one destined to spark a flicker of belief in my heart. I sat beside him, my heart pounding, fingers clenching his hand with desperation. Thank you for everything. The weight of those words hangs heavy in the air, a bittersweet farewell that lingers, echoing in the silence that follows. For all that is lost. The air thickens with the weight of those words, charged with unvoiced feelings. Lucas's grip tightened around my hand, the silence thick and suffocating, a storm brewing in the air. That night, I fell into a deep sleep, oblivious to the tempest lurking just below the surface. The future hung heavy, cloaked in shadows of doubt. The summit loomed, tantalizingly close yet eternally distant, a cruel mirage in the corporate wilderness. Maxwell might just craft a scheme that would turn my world upside down. Amidst the turmoil, a single truth cut through the darkness. I remained, yet the shadows murmured a different tale. It overshadowed all that came before. Your presence is everything. Without it, the world fades to gray. Your presence has woven a thread into our story today. Your support is our lifeline. Yet, we must emphasize that this story is a mere figment of imagination, severed from any truth. Yet, In this tale, a question lingers, haunting the darkness. In the grip of a harrowing decision, will you hold fast to your convictions or yield to the price that awaits? Share your thoughts below if you're brave enough. Do you sense Celeste's pain? What would you decide in that fleeting moment of doubt? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Your next moment awaits. What happens next will leave you breathless. Until we cross paths again.